What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Yes, Jeff, put on that fake smile today. I know you feel like dog crap, and today's topic is gonna be a doozy.
Yeah.
Today's topic is an impromptu dads, not always on wrestling. And the fact that I'm talking right now just goes to show that it's not wrestling related.
Generally speaking,
It's something that came about a week ago. There was a post online that I saw. Billboard magazine basically released the 100 greatest Christmas songs of all times list. And those of y'all out there in internet land that know me, that know Jeff, know how much Christmas means to us. You know, you go back last year, you can revisit on the Jeff Meacham Network, the top 10 Christmas songs show that we did, or you can even go to the Casa D18 Studios channel, watch the Yule Log edition where you get the full-length version of the songs. But I digress. Like, you guys know how much this holiday and these songs mean to us.
We have a show coming up on Christmas Eve this coming Friday about, the Christmas TV specials. That's how crazy we get about this holiday. We actually rank the TV specials / episodes. All right. This holiday means more to us than probably would legally be deemed sane by most experts at this point. But then you have stuff like this come out and it drives us insane.
Yeah. So I see the list. I check it. I even check it twice.
At least twice.
Oofa. Because I'm dumbfounded when I open up this list. There is so much that I have to say, and that by proxy, I know Jeff's going to throw his 2 cents on as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
I have 5 different sections of this list that I want to try to break down and address. So we're going to just jump right into this. First thing we're going to talk about is the top 10 songs.
Yes.
Now, for the most part, I feel like these songs are top 10 worthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't feel like they are in the proper spots, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And let's just take a look at them right now. Okay, so coming in at number 10 on this list, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow by Dean Martin.
Right. Pretty sure it's the only song on that album that can be actually played on the regular radio anymore. I love Dino, but let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dean is best known for Baby It's Cold Outside, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Or 10 or 20. Who knows how long this is going to go.
Yes.
But Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow is a standard. It's definitely top 10 worthy. But by my assessment, Dean's is the traditional version of it. There may have been versions before him. There's definitely been versions after him. But his is the definitive version of that song. So for his version of that to be in the top 10, okay.
The melody, the actual music on his version is so iconic that I forget the fan's name. Lord, I apologize. When that Star Trek fan made the parody version where the crew of the USS Enterprise with Picard at the helm sings "Make It So, Make It So, Make It So" through various clip cuts, this is the background music. This version of this song. So, yeah, if the Trekkies are so inclined to use it for their references, then it's iconic in general pop culture.
There you go. Number 9 is, honestly, this is one of the biggest ones I have an issue with as far as where it's ranked. It's definitely deserving. But in my opinion, this song should be number one, and it's not. And that's White Christmas by Bing Crosby.
Right, exactly.
I mean, seriously, can you think of a more definitive Christmas song that has stood the test of time than White Christmas?
You know, it's one of those where we talked about it off air. Everything is subjective, and it's definitely this song. You know, the song itself definitely belongs in a top anything Christmas list. This version, I feel, should definitely be higher up on the list than number 9. This song has, you know, as you know, one of D. Martin's other songs would say, you know, weather the storm, if you will, of Bing's accusations over the years, right or wrong, you know, however you feel about that. This song is Bing Crosby's song. This song is the song that he made the standard bearer. Is it the greatest Christmas song of all time? Again, we talk about all the time. We are subjective around here. So that's up. It's definitely in the discussion without question. But if you're going to put Bing Crosby's White Christmas in a top 10, how do you not make it at least the top half of the top 10? That's silly. It really is.
I can concede that. You know, I mean, for my money, you know, personal feelings aside, because obviously I've got my own favorite Christmas song of all time, but if we're talking about the general population,
right,
for my money, White Christmas is your definitive Christmas song. Like,
yes,
it's very hard to argue any song to me on that point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are some heavy hitters in this top 10. That's why we don't object to them being in the top 10.
Right.
We just object to their placement within the top 10. And for all the ones in the top 10, this is the one I object to the most.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's just, again, yeah, it's not inclusion in, it's placement of. It's just, I say absurd. It's damn near obscene that this song is so low.
Yeah.
For real.
Number 8 on this list, again, it should definitely be in this back half of the top 10. For my money, it should be number 10. But I definitely think it has its place in the top 10, especially in recent years. I feel like it's gotten a little bit more play since its singer passed away.
Right.
Last Christmas by Wham.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like this was kind of a forgotten gem until George Michael passed away.
I agree.
And then George Michael passed away, and Taylor Swift did a cover of it on her little Christmas EP, which also got ranked on here in the 50s or something. So, you know, that's fine where it is. But I just feel like, I'm not making fun of Taylor, but just for it to be in that back half of the 100, yeah, it's good word. That's good where it is, you know?
Right.
But I feel like this was such an underrated song, again, forgotten until George passed away.
Yep.
And it's so good and cute. Like I said, bottom half of the top 10, definitely. Maybe number 10 instead of number 8, but this one is one of the ones where placement I have the least issue with.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of this song in general. Truth be told, Lord, or you know, whoever, forgive me, I like Taylor's song version better personally. I've never been a Wham fan or a George Michael fan. Not it just he's never been my particular cup of tea. You know, or, you know, glass of eggnog, if you will, during this show. So although the whole eggnog versus whatever argument you guys had the other day on social media, it's like, man, where's the hot cocoa on this? I ask you folks, you know, you got your PSLs, you got your eggnog. Where's the hot cocoa, folks? Chiming in with their 2 cents or however much hot cocoa costs at Starbucks now, which is like, I guess, $20. But anyway, that's a whole other show for a whole other time.
Without the reusable red cup.
That's right. That's right. And if you know, you know. So yeah, I've never been a huge fan of this song in general. Do I feel it belongs in the top 10 overall? No, I don't. And that's just my personal feelings. But as you said, if they're going to have it in the top 10, definitely the back half, even at number 10 for me is like, yeah, I guess. But if you're going to have it be in your top 10, definitely be in the back half.
Really quickly, what year were you born again?
1983. So again, the whole.
So that's probably part of it, because you kind of missed the Wham hype. By the time you were
100%.
By the time you were growing up, George Michael was a solo act.
Right.
Because Wham had disintegrated by like 85.
Exactly.
So you weren't in your formidable years like I was. I was probably about 8 years old when their Make It Big album came out, which had, Everything She Wants, Wake Me Up Before You Go, Careless Whisper.
Right.
Like that was their big album, and then they broke up shortly after that.
And like I said, I've never been a fan, or even listening back now, I can appreciate the artistry and how well they did and why they did as well as they did, but it's just never, as a secret spy will say, never been my bag, baby. It's just never been my thing. So
it's fair.
This next one though, should be higher. Again, that's in the argument for top 5 or better for sure. This is the next one here.
Yeah, probably at least top 5, probably at least number 5.
Right.
Looking at the songs that are on this list, like, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I feel like 2, 3, and 4 are kind of right where they deserve to be.
Yep.
If I would put Bane at number 1, I would probably jostle this one to 5 and then adjust the others to the back end. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Number 7 on this list is one of those songs, and it's part of why I was listening to the Yule log back before you joined me today. Some of the chatter we had, this song is definitely one of the 2 main songs that herald the season. This and its counterpart, which doesn't pop up until much later on the list. In fact, number 29. But number 7 is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams.
I love it.
And, this and Johnny Mathis, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, really could be side A, side B of a single to just like, you want to rein in the season proper, like, here you go. This is your first 2 songs to kick off the season. Exactly.
You wake up the 26th of November, this year, the day after Thanksgiving. I want to call it Black Friday because this portion of the day is not black by any means. It's wonderful. It's great. You wake up, throw those songs on, you're out the door, you're shopping because you're an insane person. It's these 2 songs. And like you said, the fact that Mathis is like down in the 20s, it's like, 29. Yeah. How do you have that be 29? And again, Andy should be up here at number 7 or higher. But like you said, there's side A, side B of a vinyl. How do you not include them together? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, this list is just gives me the hives, man.
And we're not even, we're barely halfway through the top 10, and we still have so much other stuff to get into.
Oh, I know.
If you're already breaking out in hives, Lord help
I apologize for this show and be with the Christmas carolers. Amen.
Number 6 to me is one that honestly I've never gotten into.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Hispanic community.
Oh.
But Jose Feliciano, Feliz Navidad, coming in at number 6. I've never really been a fan of songs that are super repetitive.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And that's exactly what this song is.
Yep.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
Okay. And that goes on for like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. There are, to this day, there are only 2 songs I fast forward watching the Pee Wee's Playhouse Christmas special. This one by Charo, except for the end where Pee Wee just breaks the pinata open. It's a great moment. It's a cool moment. And then, with all due respect to her and the song, Grace Jones, Little German Boy, I've never been a fan of that song anyway. But Grace singing that song in that cadence, in that ridiculous outfit she had on in that Christmas special. Yeah, can't hit the damn skip button fast enough. I'm sorry. Just it creeped me out in '88, let alone now, right? So, but that and this song, again, we're not trying to disrespect anybody that's ever done it, ever performed it, composed it like Jose did. It's repetitive. It's 3.5 minutes of the same, basically 7 or 8 lines. Okay.
And again, I'm not going to say that it's not an iconic song.
No.
I would definitely place it in the top 20 Christmas songs of all time.
Okay.
And that's coming from a guy that's not a fan of the song.
Right.
If it has to stay in the top 10, this and Last Christmas, neck and neck there. I'd maybe put this at 10 and Last Christmas at 9. Bumping it up, you're bumping it down a spot from 8 where it currently is.
Yeah.
But, again, no disrespect to any of our Hispanic fans that may grow up on this song. For all I know, this is y'all's White Christmas.
Right.
So, we don't want to take anything away from y'all. But for me, myself personally, this is one of the 3 Christmas songs mainstream that I've just never been a fan of.
Yeah.
Drummer Boy, like you just mentioned, that's another one. And Silent Night is another one.
Really?
As
you're
beautiful as Silent Night can be, I've just never been a fan of it.
Huh. See, Silent Night, I love, and it's one of my dad's favorites ever. And that's probably part of why. But the other two, I can definitely co-sign with you.
I don't want to get too far off in the weeds because, again, we've got so much ground to cover. But I think for me, a lot of it has to do with the fact that growing up and being raised on classic TV sitcoms, like every Christmas episode would end with Silent Night.
True.
So when you're watching, your Nick at Night marathon of 6 or 7 classic TV Christmas episodes, and everyone is ending in Silent Night.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, y'all. There's so many to choose from. Can
we're
we
going to
get
talk about this episode.
Christmas tree or something up in here, like for real?
Yeah.
Anyways,
we're talking about this song on Friday, the show episode, I should say, briefly on Friday's episode of Dads with the TV specials. But yeah, even the Saved by the Bell special where Zach Morris's trash just tears completely the hell apart. Even that one ends on Silent Night at the piano. So there you go. Yeah.
Number 5 on the list definitely deserves to be top 10 material.
Yes.
I would say the bottom half of the top 10. Maybe drop it down to 6 based off of what we were saying about some of the other songs.
Right.
But it's iconic, and it's iconic because you don't just hear it on the radio every year multiple times, but you've got the lovely people at Rankin Bass to thank for Burl Ives and A Holly Jolly Christmas.
Yes.
I mean, as we are filming this, I just sat and watched Rudolph again with my niece last night, and just hearing Burl sing that song gives you the warm and the fuzzies, like you just took a sip of that hot cocoa you were talking about earlier. It just gives you that Christmas feel.
Yep.
So again, not as much of an issue of it being on the list, just placement.
Yeah, and
placement is the key. I'm going to reiterate this probably once more during the top 5 here. Placement is key. We're not objecting to most of these songs on the list, just where they fall within the list.
Yeah, and when you think about it, you mentioned watching Rudolph with Burl Ives, the cadence in the movie is far different from the cadence on the depending on what area you're up in, the vinyl, the CD, the cassette, whatever you want to call it. Because the one on the single release or the album release is, you know, have a dun, 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 and in Rudolph it's dun, 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 and it's just it blows right through it. Again, both versions iconic. Both versions, you know, we grew up on, you and I, especially being Rankin Bass folk that we are. So I'm
still got that big silver brick somewhere around here.
Exactly.
And if you know, you know.
And if you don't, just please Google it when we're done. Good grief. We don't want to go into off. If we go off into that weed, we're going to be off on a whole other vine for hours. But this is one of those songs that translates well to TV and album versions. Both great.
Yeah. For my money, the song here at number 4 is the only other song within the top 10 here that could truly give White Christmas a run for its money.
Yes.
The Christmas song, Nat King Cole.
Yep.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. You know, again, you want to talk about the warm fuzzies. You want to talk about taking that sip of hot cocoa and the way it warms your innards. Nat King Cole and that voice and the song. It just, A plus B plus C equals Christmas. I'm just saying, you know.
and as my father is quick to point out, written by a Jewish man. Let's not oversell that for a moment. You know, Mel Torme wrote this damn song. So the fact that it was written by a person that, for all intents and purposes, is not going to celebrate a damn minute of this. And it's arguably the most iconic Christmas song ever, sang by the most iconic Christmas voice ever.
Like I said, neck and neck there with Bean and White Christmas.
Yeah, and again, this and White Christmas, the fact that they're both in the top 10, it's like, well, duh, of course. But again, the disparity, the differences between the two songs and placement, it's like, and again, we're talking about Billboard, who have always trended toward the modern being the thing, which is why number 1 is what it is. We'll get there. If you don't know by now, you should know by now. But yeah, this one, it definitely belongs where it is, in the top 5, if not the top spot. So yeah, good choice to include it. Definitely a great choice to have in the top 5. Again, there's definitely a discussion where it should be the highest.
Yeah. Number 3 and number 2, we're just kind of going to rush into back and back, because much like I talked about with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Andy Williams, and It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Johnny Mathis, very much side A and B of the single here. Yes. Number 3 is Bobby Helms with the Jingle Bell Rock. Number 2 is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, Brenda Lee. Like, these two songs very much go hand in hand. So it doesn't surprise me that they're placed right next to each other on the list.
Right.
But that's another part of why it surprises me so that It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas and It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year aren't placed neck and neck on the list. Like,
right.
It's very much similar situations. Like, when you think of one song, you immediately think of the other and want to hear it afterwards.
Yep.
When you hear Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms, you want to hear Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. And vice versa with Andy and Johnny.
Yep. It's almost like when Queen released We Will Rock You, We're the Champions as one basic song. And that's what they are on most releases. When you go to Wally World, when you go to places and you find these holiday, CD compilation, whatever the hell, those two are always placed back to back. Sometimes the CD or the thing is just those two by them damn selves because they're so intertwined. Both, Brenda and Bobby, and of course, you said Andy and Johnny later. You will often find those 4 songs together on any Christmas compilation, and they're almost always back to back with one another. So, again, that's where our heads just over the placement of some of these songs. But again, you know, if you're going to have number one be what number one's going to be here in a minute, how do you not have Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree and Jingle Bell Rock be 2 and 3? Or 3 and 2, however you want to, you know, throw it up there.
So it brings us to number one. And if you haven't figured it out by now, being as how this is a Billboard chart, number one, All I Want for Christmas Is You by the Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey. And it's not my label for her. That is what she has been dubbed by the media, by radio. She is the Queen of Christmas because of this song right here.
Yep.
And again, I get this is Billboard. A lot of their ranking system is probably based off of sales and airplay. So yeah, All I Want for Christmas Is You is going to get the most radio airplay because it's not just the traditional stations that play it. You've also got the urban stations that play it because she's a pop R&B single. You know, so you've got her showing up on, you know, and forgive me if some of these stations aren't even in existence anymore. It's how long it's been since I've listened to the radio. But you've got her popping up on Kiss FM, 92.3 The Beat, Power 106.
Right.
In addition to popping up on K-Earth and Coast when they start playing Christmas music.
Yes.
You know, because she's always been more of a pop R&B singer, she's going to be played on those other stations as well as the mainstream Christmas music stations. Whereas you're not going to hear Bing Crosby on Power 106. No. It's just not going to happen. You know, you're not going to hear Holly Jolly on 92.3 The Beat. It's just not
exactly.
Happen. So that in of itself is part of why songs like Wham! Last Christmas and Mariah were able to crack the top 10 because they've got those crossover stations that they get play on in addition to the mainstream Christmas stations.
Right, exactly. It's funny you mentioned that she's on, you know, the not so traditional stations. I asked my ALEXA device over here about 2 weeks ago to play Country Christmas on Sirius XM. That song played up. It's like, that is most definitely not country. Like, it is about as pop as you can get.
Yeah.
But they played it because everybody plays that song this time of year. And to her credit and to her studio's credit, even she gets how obnoxious it is because November 1st, y'all, they had her in a video on social media smashing up pumpkins saying it's not time and to turn it into it's time, and blam, there go. I mean, she came out there in the outfit, smashed that middle pumpkin. Even she and her studio get the fact that, okay, this is bullshit. It's playing this early, but you know what? We're going to go and ham it up. So that was the thing for me this year of why I was happy to talk about this list and this song being where it is, because even they get it. It's like, really?
Yeah. Now, in reality, with the 10 that are on this list, I would probably put this at number 5, number 6.
Yes.
Because I feel like the ones that have truly stood the test of time, White Christmas, Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Christmas Song, Jingle Bell Rock, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, those songs deserve to be your top 5.
Yep.
My personal opinion. This, Holly Jolly, Feliz Navidad, Let It Snow, and Last Christmas can be your bottom half of the top 10.
Yeah. Again, if we keep that top 10 intact as it is.
Yeah.
Now,
as far as what was presented to us,
yes,
that is how I personally would jostle it up.
Right.
For those of you out there that are watching, what do you guys think of the top 10?
Right.
Let us know. If you're watching this live as it airs, leave your thoughts and comments over there next to Jeff. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments underneath us. Now, the next thing I wanted to bring up about this list.
Yeah.
The placement of more recent versions of songs as opposed to the standards. Okay. And I have a few different examples here that I'm going to bring up. I've got 5 different examples.
Okay.
We're going to start with one that we've talked about quite a few times throughout the list we just did. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, which is absent from its top 10.
Right.
It does not make the list until number 14 with Michael Bublé's version.
Yes.
Not Johnny Mathis's.
Oh, no.
Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Johnny Mathis comes in at 29, Bing Crosby at number 32, and Perry Como at number 38. Now, for my money, Johnny Mathis is the definitive version of this song.
Agreed.
No disrespect to Bing or Perry, who more than likely had their versions come out before him. But Johnny Mathis's version is the definitive version of this song.
Yep.
So for it to be behind Michael Bublé, number one, I have a problem with.
Yes.
But then you factor in the fact that versions that came before even Johnny's are ranked after Johnny.
Yes.
And there's another problem.
Yeah. Just ridiculous. Just absurd.
Another one. Again, we discussed it a little bit during the top 10. Little Drummer Boy. Song that neither one of us is truly fond of. Doesn't enter the chart until number 36 with the Pentatonix version.
Yeah.
The traditional version that comes from the Rankin Bass, the Harry Simone chorale, is number 58.
It's in the bottom half of the list, period. That's awful.
And absent completely is the Bing Crosby David Bowie version,
which is arguably the version that has permeated through pop culture the most. I mean, really. So that's again, this would have definitely been, should have been much more discussion amongst the Billboard higher ups before placing their name on this stuff.
If you're going to talk about airplay and record sales, I'm willing to bet you money that the David Bowie Bing Crosby version has sold more and been played more than the Harry Simone chorale version.
Yeah.
Maybe not more than the Pentatonix.
No.
Because Pentatonix are awesome. I'm not trying to take
anything
away from Pentatonix. Ever since I saw them on Sesame Street, I've loved them. Like, they are so cool and adorable.
They're great.
But to put that higher than the traditional version that everybody knows with the choral, the basically, you know, like the word I'm looking for, like the church choir version. No.
And like you said, to have the Bowie version be completely off the list of 100 altogether is mind-boggling. Just mind-boggling. You know, again, I know you have different ones that you wanted to bring up as too low or not being on the list at all. Again, I'm gonna throw one in here, so forgive me if I'm overstepping your list. Here Comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane at number 25. Break it down to the bare basics. Here Comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane, was written in part because of he was a Hollywood cowboy, Gene Autry, of course I'm referring to. So the fact that they made an entire parade out here in Hollywood based on this song, and you figure Billboard, who, you know, for better or for worse, LA based, Hollywood based, whatever you want to call it. How do they not have this song at least top 20, if not top 15 or even top 10? Makes my head hurt.
You're misinformed about one thing. They didn't make the parade off the song. The song was made because he was riding in the parade.
Okay, see, I was always told the other way.
Remember the version that he has given the introduction for. You know, he talks about how he rode in the parade, the Santa Claus Lane parade, and he could hear the people shouting, "Here comes Santa Claus! Here comes Santa Claus!"
Yeah, you're right. I remember the
album to create the song.
Yeah. Okay, but either way,
yeah,
you know,
again, I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Oh, here we go.
Does not make an appearance on the list until number 48.
Yeah.
With Frank Sinatra's version.
Which again, you can't count down Frank singing any dang thing, first of all. So
love me some Frankie.
Yes.
Bublé comes in at number 51. Sam Smith, whoever the heck that is, comes in at number 76.
Sam Smith definitely, and again, that's a whole other discussion. My dad would be able to tell you who Sam Smith is, but he definitely belongs on a list. But again,
where's Judy Garland?
I was going to say
her version is completely missing.
Yeah, from a if you have a top 100 Christmas songs list that is made even in 2021, and Judy Garland's version from me in St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Is not on the list at all of 100. Now, let me just throw it out there to be fair, to be as unbiased and as uneggnogged as I could possibly be, because I'm pretty wound up about this whole damn list, to be honest with you. I detest her version. And I say that because it's depressing as hell. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. It's like, you don't muddle through Christmas, sweetheart. I know your life was questionable at that point in your existence, but you don't muddle through Christmas. You know, hang a stunning sharp on the highest bough is way less depressing. But either way, her song, better, worse, however you want to say it, is the definitive version of this song by most people's accounts. And it's not in the top 100. What the actual boop? Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, there's other versions of the song that I enjoy, but I will never deny that Judy's is the definitive version of this song.
Yes.
Judy's makes my playlist every year, as does Kelsey's, as does John Denver duetting with Rolf.
Right.
But you can't argue the iconic stature of Judy Garland singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is not on the list at all, but this Sam Smith dude is. That's the main reason why I'm like, who the heck is this guy? Like, you're telling me that he can make the list, but Judy doesn't? GTFO.
Right. And again, to be complete, I only heard Sam Smith starting last year when Dad got his shiny new satellite radio toy in his car. That's the only reason I heard Sam Smith in the first place. But I've heard the dude saying he definitely belongs on a list. I'm not saying above Judy's by any means, or above a lot of these people's any songs. But yeah, he's. But again, the bottom line is, you know, Judy Garland's version, the definitive version, makes the list absolutely nowhere, at least in the top 100, which I would love to see the next 100 just to see what they would say. And then we could really some freaking biology class dissecting this out of this, like for real, because okay, let's take the entire bottom half and just go, there we go. Thank you. Because a lot of these are ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
Another one that I have placement issues. Well, not really placement issues of, but still the more contemporary version outweighs the more traditional version. Do you hear what I hear?
Yes.
Whitney Houston's version, the first version of the song to hit the chart, is number 78.
Which is
Bing Crosby's version, which is the more traditional, the standard, if you will, comes in at 84. And Andy Williams' version comes in at 94. Now, I'm willing to give this one slightly more leeway because no disrespect to Bean, but when I think Do You Hear What I Hear, I think Whitney Houston.
Right.
Because she just, much like she did with I Will Always Love You, she's like, here, Dolly, I'm going to take that. Now it's mine.
Right. Very much so.
For better or for worse.
Yeah.
But she took that song from Bean and she made it her own. She rocked it. She sung it the way only she could with that amazing voice that Whitney Houston has.
Oh, yeah.
So when I think Do You Hear What I Hear, Whitney's version is the version that makes my playlist. Number 78 is ridiculous.
That really, like, again, really ridiculous. There are people that don't like this song. It takes a little while, but for every person I hear, it's taking a long while. It's like, okay, explain 12 Days of Christmas to me. I'll wait.
My biggest issue with this song is one line. It's the line, a child, shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold.
Right.
This baby is freezing his ass in a manger, and you're bringing him silver and gold.
What?
Not blankets and robes, which, by the way, rhymes.
Right.
You know, I've tried it. Not something that can actually warm him up.
No, you know.
No, we're going to give him silver and gold as he freezes his ass off. And maybe doesn't survive this Christmas. Dies of hypothermia or something, you know. But he's got plenty of silver and gold so they can bury him.
That's right. They give him a fancy sarcophagus. We're wrong for that, but it's okay.
I'm sorry. That is the one line I've always had an issue with in this song.
Yes.
It definitely makes no sense to me.
It doesn't. Zero.
But I digress. Then you've got Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh, Lord. Yep.
Okay, which was deemed controversial a few years ago, has all but been banned from most radio stations, even though, you know, they were allowed to play WAP. We won't get into that one. But Michael Bublé and Idina Menzel clock in at number 59, first appearance of the song on the list, and Dean Martin's The Standard Bearer, number 62. Granted, it's a 3-spot difference, but if it's only going to be a 3-spot difference, flip-flop them.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Thanks to Frozen, I love me some Idina Menzel. The video for it is adorable.
Yes.
But Dean Martin's version is the iconic version. It existed for damn near 50 years of airplay and sales before Michael Bublé and Idina Menzel did their version. You can't tell me that their version has sold more and been played more in the couple of years of its existence than Dean Martin's has. I don't buy it. Flip them on the list.
Agreed. Just for fun, you mentioned Frozen, and in fact, Idina has come into your heart because of Frozen. Do You Want to Build a Snowman by Kristen Bell et al. Is 47. It's above both versions. It's like,
I was going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Because I have that. You know what? Let's go ahead and get to that one now.
Okay. I just found that
have
funny.
A little column called Really? Which features Do You Want to Build a Snowman and Linus and Lucy.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Let me. Okay, go ahead.
Before you go on your rant that I know will be #Statboy approved, all I'm going to say is I know it plays every year in Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yep.
but it is not a Christmas song.
Really a song.
All that song is a theme. You hear it in every Charlie Brown special. It's like hearing the Imperial March in Star Wars. You hear it anytime you see Vader because it summons them. It makes it sound more ominous. It heralds their arrival. You hear Linus and Lucy in every Charlie Brown special. If it's a Christmas song, then goddamn it, it needs to be on the top 100 Halloween songs playlist, the top 100 Thanksgiving songs playlist, the top 100 Easter songs playlist, because it's in every special. Jeff, I turn you loose now.
It's barely a goddamn song. First of all, it's seriously 15 minutes of that's all it is. That's all it is. Except for the that's it. When you grow up on these movies like I did, even as a kid, I was like, can this poor creature on and by the way, you love the fact that your boy on the piano was the Phantom of the Opera at Knott's Berry Farm for costume pictures. I was like, somewhere JJ's just shaking his head on levels because of this. If you know, you know, folks. It was just like, can the boy play anything but the damn song? Like, can he do anything? Like, it's I love you, Schroeder, but oh my god, just hours and hours. It feels like I'm watching Lord of the Rings on like super hyper mode because it's the same shit for hours. Now, the other song they do on the Charlie Brown, you know, Christmas time is here, that I'm okay with. 100% okay with that. That's a Christmas song.
That made the list, as did their version of O Tannenbaum.
Again, both Christmas-based songs, which I'm okay with. But Linus and Lucy being on this list at all, let alone where it is, it's like, no.
Yeah, because it ranks in like the 30s.
Yeah. It's not a Christmas song, y'all. It's just not. I'm trying to find it out. It's going to bug me until I find where it is. 33.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
just for context, it ranks higher than Pentatonic's Little Drummer Boy. It ranks higher than Sinatra's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It ranks higher than Adina's Baby It's Cold Outside. It ranks higher than Whitney's Do You Hear What I Hear? And it's not even a Christmas song.
It is right above two songs that, for my money, no. First of all, Bruce Springsteen's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town is arguably one of the best versions of that song, if not the best version ever. And Last Lucy's above that. Where Are You Christmas by Faith Hill? Again, that song is depressing, and it's just tough to get through no matter what time of year you watch it or what part of December you watch it in. But it is a Christmas song. It's in the title. Where Are You Christmas? And Linus and Lucy is directly above that. And it's only two below The Definitive Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt. I just go, I want to know what Billboard exec brought the funny brownies into the meeting before they made this list.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay. I got my Linus and Lucy rat out for the year. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
We're gonna backtrack a little bit, coming back to how the songs over the standards, because there's a lot of repetition on this list as well.
Yes.
Both in song titles and in artists.
Yep.
Okay. I am not going to take anything away from either of these two artists that I'm about to rip into right now. Okay. Because I actually enjoy both of them. I mentioned Pentatonics earlier. Ever since Sesame Street, I've just loved them. But Pentatonics is on this list 6 times.
Yeah.
And Michael Bublé, who, again, I adore listening to him. He is the modern day Sinatra.
Oh, yeah, without question.
If you enjoy that Rat Pack vibe of music, then you enjoy Michael Bublé.
Agreed.
But for him to have 10 songs out of 100 is damn ridiculous.
Yes.
Especially when, quote unquote, the Queen of Christmas only has 4.
That's the thing. Yeah. I love that his affiliation with Christmas is so intertwined with pop culture that they lampooned it on the SNL Christmas special. That's how Christmased out Michael Bublé is.
Okay? He is essentially the king of Christmas. If Mariah is the queen, Michael is its king.
Right. So,
and how the two of them haven't done a duet Christmas song together, considering, God, there's some money right there to be made. But I digress.
His Christmas duets have been damn good over the years, but again, how do you not pair him with Mariah Carey yet? Just astounds me as well. Yeah. So,
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is on the list 5 different times. And again, none of them are the Judy Garland version.
So yeah, that just right there is, that's dumb.
All I Want for Christmas Is You is on there 4 times. Twice it's Mariah.
Right.
Because you've got the number 1 version, then you've got the quote unquote super festive version, which comes in at number 99 with her and Justin Bieber.
Yeah, there's another guy that bugs me. He's on this list how many times?
I didn't take note of him, but at least 3.
At least 3 or 4. And again,
he's got a song in the top 20. He's got Mistletoe in the top 20. And then he's both the 99 and 100 spot. Yeah. With the super festive All I Want for Christmas Is You and his version of Drummer Boy with Busta Rhymes.
So once again, we have Busta Rhymes mess up a major holiday for us. Okay, cool. If you know, you know, folks. And if you don't,
you know what? His version of Grinch 2000 is awesome. That with Jim Carrey is dope.
But again,
it wasn't a single. It wasn't a single. That's why.
It's
exactly just an album song.
Right. It's this. Okay, so again, some of these people on the list, where they are, for what they are, it's just, the whole thing just astounds me. And again, I'm biased toward a lot of different versions because I have my own traditions on Christmas. Everybody knows about my love of the Gatlins. I did say this. And well, first of all, before I actually was scrolling up, I saw something that got my attention. So let me just hang on. I just saw it. It just made me mad. So I wanted to say the Chipmunk song, Being Low as It Is, bugs me. It pisses me off, to be honest with you, because that is like number 70 out of, and with all this stuff above it, it's like, come on. I know they're annoying. I know the high pitch just drives everybody crazy, especially my poor mother. God love her. But you know what?
I'm going to come to your defense here. Give me 1 second.
That's okay. I'm going to find what I was looking for anyway. I'm trying to remember where I saw it. It was low enough where it got my attention.
The fact that the Chipmunks are number 70, right, and I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas is number 57.
Yeah,
is absurd. Those two should be flip-flopped.
Thank you. At least flip-flopped. Again, I think the Chipmunks should be higher personally, but that's just...
Personally, I love the Chipmunks too. I grew up on the Chipmunks, watching their TV show every day after school.
Yep.
The Chipmunk Adventure, Chipmunk Christmas. It's part of my rotation during the holidays. I grew up on the Chipmunks. Chipmunks seen the Beatles.
Yeah.
I digress.
Right.
I get they're not everybody's cup of tea, much like the Muppets, who the Muppets aren't on this list at all. I could go on a half-hour rant about that, but I'm going to contain myself.
Well,
okay.
Again,
but
I get they're not everyone's
cup of tea, but they should at least be closer to the top 50.
Yes. You've got the Eagles, or not. I keep hearing they're not the Eagles; they're just Eagles. But Please Come Home for Christmas. In defense of Billboard, for a brief moment here, I only heard this song semi-recently, within the last 5 years. I didn't know it was a thing, but it's beautiful, and it definitely belongs on this list. Under 25, I don't know if that. I think it may be a little bit higher compared to. Again, people are going to crap on me for ragging on the modern. Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande. It's a cute song. I don't think it's top 21 out of 100. So again, the whole point of this, it's very subjective. It was mainly the top 10 that, okay, these definitely belong. Placement wise, they're out of place, but there are so many songs that are much more standard, much more traditional. And again, I almost want to put a disclaimer. Sorry for coming off like old fuddy duddies. We belong in the 50s and 60s here, but it's really how I feel because we grew up on, as you said, Kayers playing these songs, Coast playing these songs during the holidays, and then as we've gotten older, technology's advanced, we've got our year-round Christmas playlists on Spotify or Google Music or whatever the case may be. Apple Music, I should say, because Google Music, I don't know that's the thing. But
in the link to this video, I'm going to put my link to my 150 absolute best Christmas songs. Which again, it's subjective.
Yeah. Yes.
It's subjective. You may hear those 150 and be like, the hell are you thinking, Renegade? But those are the 150 songs that I feel are the best.
Yep. And I if I don't put on what I usually play on, which I'll tell you in just a second, I usually put on your playlist because it's got a great variety, and that's the key. People are going to think, oh, we only want to hear Burl Ives and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and no. We want to hear a little bit of everything, but it has to be a little bit of everything, not the same song by 5 different people or in the order, incorrectly, 6 or 7, 8 different spots off. I will say this though, I did find a station on Sirius called Holiday Instrumentals. I feel like I'm walking down Main Street every time I put that on because it's easy to see why Disney got away with putting those songs on their Main Street playlist because they're in the public domain and anybody can play them. So putting that on when I'm cleaning up in this crazy office of mine is perfect. Because I get that Disney vibe in my brain. You got Disney and Christmas into these ears, into this brain. You're going to get me getting stuff done. So, and again, that's because these songs, whether they're sang, whether they're played, whether whatever version you're hearing of them are the standards of Christmas. And we definitely enjoy the majority of the songs on their list. And we're not trying to say that we don't. It's just placement is everything.
Yeah, and I do want to point out a couple of tracks here that are completely absent from the list that really kind of made me go WTF.
Right.
We already talked about Judy Garland's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. We already talked about Bean and Bowie, Little Drummer Boy, Peace on Earth. There was no Queen, Thank God It's Christmas.
Yeah.
There is no Kelly Clarkson or Amy Grant, My Grown-Up Christmas List.
Yeah, that surprised me.
There's no Madonna version of Santa Baby. And I'll give you the fact that Eartha's is the definitive, the iconic version, but from the minute that song came out on the very special Christmas album through the mid-90s, Eartha Kitt's version was almost forgotten.
Yeah.
There was no escaping Madonna's version.
No, and it's very 80s. It's like, oh, it's
she kind of was Madonna. Getting like the Betty Boop type of vibe to it, which was cute.
Thank you, Betty Boop. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, Betty Boop's definitely, yeah.
There's I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, but all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth is not there.
No. I mean,
and don't get me wrong, that song annoys the living crap out of me. But over I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, come on, which is more iconic?
Yeah. One song I'm glad did not make a list. I'm going to throw it in the boys' face when we get done taping this. Dominic the Christmas Donkey. Thank God. Because, okay. So it was either last year or the year before, him and Dad both discovered that song, and it's just like bullet to my brain. I almost maybe we won't catch it on the radio this year. We pull up the intersection that just starts the second half of our trip to his mother's, and there it is. Headphones on. No, That song is just god awful. And if y'all like Dominic, good on you. I'm happy for you. You have your one weird thing a year. Cool. But man, is it bad. But yeah, that not being there is great. But I want Hippopotamus being on here at all above any version of All I Want for Christmas is Front Teeth. And again, I'm not a fan of that song either. Don't like it. Never have. Never liked Hippopotamus, really. So, and again, we're like a couple old fogies here, but like those three songs just irritate me. They just do.
I can take All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth in small doses, but not like heavy rotation. But again, the fact that it's not there and I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas that's where I have the problem, because for my money, again, subjective, for my money, All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth is more iconic. And then the last one I wanted to point out that is missing is a song that both of us love. And if memory serves me correctly, was the only song that both of us had on our top 10 Christmas songs list last year. Believe, Josh Groban.
Yeah. Yep.
His version of Oh Holy Night made the list at like number 90. But Believe is not there. And Believe went to number 1. I actually looked this up for research. Believe went to number 1 on Billboard's adult contemporary charts. So if it's going off of rankings and radio play, it's a number 1 song. How did it not make this list?
Yeah, and I'm not overly, like, I'm not going to play entire Josh Groban CD or album because it's very much, it is what it is. I'm not a fan of a length of album that like that of the same style. I like mixing his songs in with other things during Christmas. But Believe is one of those that, I'm getting all misty here, sorry. It definitely tugs at the heartstrings of those who may be wavering from the belief in the magic and in Santa and in everything that goes along with this season. And if you don't appreciate that song for what it is, and even if you're going, as you just said, off sales and chart listings and everything, how is this not in the top 20 at least? Our money top 15 or even 10. The fact that it's completely absent, I dare say, speaks everything we need to say about this list and how it mostly needs to be redone.
Yeah. Considering the songs that are on this list, I would definitely throw it in the top 50.
Yeah, at least
personal list notwithstanding. Right. But when you consider some of the songs that were just in the second half of the top 20, the songs that didn't crack the top 10, songs like Christmas Eve, Sarajevo by Trans-Siberian Orchestra, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Gene Autry, or The Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes, Happy Christmas, War is Over by John and Yoko, Blue Christmas, Elvis, Christmas Canon, again, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Wonderful Christmas Time, Paul McCartney. Those are just songs that came in between 11 and 20 that didn't crack the top 10. And yes, I left a couple out on purpose. But then, you go down to the next section. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, Happy Holiday, the holiday season, Here Comes Santa Claus, Please Come Home for Christmas, Christmas Time is Here, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Do They Know It's Christmas? Point made, this song in the top 50 with all those heavy guns, how is it not top 50 at least?
Yeah.
Top 20, it's a hard sell with some of those heavy guns.
Oh, yeah. But it's definitely
top 50, WTF.
Yeah.
WTF.
Yeah. Well, top 50 not being there, it's like complete exclusion is the WTF. Like, that just does not make any sense when you consider how, I dare say, overplayed, again, that's subjective, Polar Express has become since its premiere.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not have the song from that movie in your holiday songs list at all is what is the mind-boggling part.
And then you go back to our Believe couldn't have gone in there instead of Linus and Lucy. Instead of Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
Yep.
Couldn't have taken away one of the 10 Michael Bublé songs to put that in there?
Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
Pentatonic songs?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I know it's Disney. I know it's Kristen Bell. I know it's but Do You Want to Build a Snowman? It's not a Christmas song.
It's the most Christmassy song in that movie, I think. But
well, to be fair, that movie's pretty damn depressing when you break it down. So, and that's the most depressing song of the whole movie because of how it ends. It's terrible. But there's the only thing Christmas about is the fact that it's snow, and the only reason the snow exists is because Elsa can't control her powers, and there's snow everywhere. I mean, really, just again. I would have loved to be in on this meeting and inspect every piece of food and drink that walked into that meeting before it was consumed because somebody done had something.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw Do You Want to Build a Snowman on the list, I had to double check to see if Let It Go was there. Because granted, Let It Go makes my Christmas playlist. It does.
Okay.
But I always put it right after Adina's version of Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow.
Right.
Because me being the music guy that I am, I've always wanted to see her live. And in my head, I have this image of her singing Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, with these snow cannons kind of shooting fake snow everywhere. And then once it's done, the snow glows white on the mountain tonight. It's like be a perfect segue right in. So that's why it makes my list. But I had to double check and be like, is Let It Go going to be on this list? Because it really isn't a Christmas song. I just pair it with, which makes it so.
This guy's definitely been to his fair share of Disney Christmases, having that whole thing just play out in his head. That's tremendous. I love it.
The minute I heard her sing it, that was the first thing I thought was seeing her do that live with a snow cannon and then going immediately into Let It Go.
Yep. Yeah. It's one of those.
Damn it.
That's right. And I still say the book your Country Bear reunion. That's a whole other podcast. I still say they should make that happen at least one more time. Definitely. But anyway,
Jeff, you know what? We just did a Dad's episode, and we didn't even go an hour and a half.
Wow.
With everything that we had to say, we didn't even go an hour and a half.
I think we're trying to be giving.
We haven't even hit an hour and 15 minutes. We haven't even hit an hour 15 yet, and there's stuff that I know needs to be trimmed out.
Yes.
But holy hell, dude, when was the last time we had a Dad's episode this short, for real?
I think what it is, we were so upset and passionate about this, we wanted to get it out, and we were just flabbergasted at the audacity of this list that our thoughts came so quickly and came so it came so visceral out of us. It was just like, argh! So it was like we got it out quickly because we were so pissed off at the whole thing, and it just came off. It was.
To all our fans that have sat through this, we apologize, sort of, if we came off as grumpy old pricks during this episode, because that was not our intention. Our intention was not to give you, 75, 80 minutes worth of material that you can just comment, okay, boomer. Even though we're totally not baby boomers. We were born way after that generation.
Seen your daughter coming in the comments in 3, 2.
If you're going to use that insult, then at least use it right.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, we didn't intend to come off like a couple of grumpy old men.
Right.
We were just so passionate about the holidays and everything that goes together with Christmas. The sights, the sounds, the smells.
Yeah.
You know, everything about the holiday is just something that positively triggers us in so many different ways. So to see this list, and again, we'll put the link for this list so you can view it in its entirety yourself in the description.
Yep.
We're not even really that upset about a lot of the songs that make this list.
No.
Couple notwithstanding.
Yeah.
But the placement of them. How are you going to tell me that some of these songs, you know, how are you going to tell me that a pentatonic song for Little Drummer Boy is seriously better than Whitney Houston's Do You Hear What I Hear?
You can't.
Or Baby It's Cold Outside by Dean Martin. If y'all want to come back on and present a logistical argument with me about it,
right,
I will gladly step into the forum on one of your open night mics, Jeff, and we can have a debate about this.
We've got one coming up tomorrow. There you
go. But for real, you can't argue me for some of these songs. No. You just can't.
Nope.
Placement is key for everything, and that is our main point throughout this.
Definitely.
What do you guys out there think of the list? What do you guys think of the points that we made? Let us know. Again, if you're watching live during the premiere, leave your comments over there next to Jeff. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down there. We thoroughly welcome the criticism. Again, anybody that wants to have a debate with me about some of this, we can step into the open night mic and debate it. I welcome it. Until the next time, for the dads, not always on wrestling.
Christmas Eve.
I am the Renegade, J.J. Williams. He is the West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham. And we will see you guys next time.